Oh, hey, everybody. Here we go. Let's share. I got something for you.
Oh, well,
Let me hear.
I would have to say at least
How many times have you made whoopee is the question.
Ever or a week?
3,500.
3,500.
Well, and the second question is with their partner.
3,500.
All right, Dan said
I don't.
200.
Yeah.
200.
I would say math is not her forte.
Listen to how long they've been together.
200. We've been married 4 months, and there's more than 200 days in a month. Every day.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
What did you say? 3,500? I've only known you 4 years. How many does that figure out to be?
There's 200 days in your month.
math.
Not in my month, in her month, maybe. 3,000.
He's like,
Give me a rest.
Oh,
Dan's hair used to be straight before he got married. Roses are red, violets are blue.
That woman's in her
On our wedding night,
60s
my
now
husband-
or older.
We went to bed.
She's older than
Yes.
that woman is in her 60s at this time.
You're talking about the woman with the math whiz.
Yeah, the math whiz, you got to figure that was in the 70s and
Yep.
she was probably in her 20s. So now
Yep.
she's in her late 60s. And I just
Well,
like the question.
According to her, she's 5,062 years.
She's 5,062. Well, she figured they've had sex 3,500 times in the 4 months they've been married.
Yep.
And
what is it now?
and well, that's
Yeah.
going to lead
Millions and
into
millions.
that's going to lead into later for everybody that's watching right now is we're going to have a checklist, a very sexual checklist.
It's a sexual compatibility. Sexual compatibility check.
Compatibility. Okay, before that, 1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. So welcome to 1,000 Marriage Questions to Joe Marlotti, who was missing last week. Hello, Joe Marlotti.
Hi, how did you guys do last week? Well, did it go
How'd you
smoothly?
do? My camera went out,
That's
and Donna just started
And I
doing
was
her makeup. She didn't keep talking. She didn't do anything. She just started doing her makeup.
No.
And I was like, no, keep talking.
And
Till
then
I
he
get back in.
texted. He was texting, keep talking. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, she just starts like, oh, well, I guess I'm on a break. I'm off for a few minutes. So
I
if
just
that
can't-
happens again.
I can't leave you guys alone. I can't leave you two alone.
You cannot. So, and Donna, you've had a good week.
oh, busy. Can't even
Busy. Me too. I straightened a drawer. You, Joe?
Quit
That's
dragging. I actually had a gig last week, which is why I was not on the show. So
Yeah, you were in Washington.
real work.
Anyway,
Washington. Gosh,
you had some traveling to do,
I
and you
was
had to take a
not
bus back.
in Washington. I don't even own camo. What are you talking about?
And you had to take a bus back because you're on the no-fly.
Yeah,
list.
right?
Oh boy, here we go. We probably shouldn't go there, really.
I wonder if there are, speaking of this and marriage, are there wives who are like, don't do that. What are you doing? Where are you going? And a lot of the
Oh,
marriage.
Yeah.
that's the thought. Is there going to be
That's a good
divorces
question.
coming out of this?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can-
Especially for the people who obviously were caught because they were stupid enough to go there and not wear a mask or do.
They're like, you ain't coming
you could
back.
have stopped with stupid enough to go there.
Well, there were people there who were actually being peaceful. You know,
Yeah,
and
well,
yeah. So, but
They were just videotaping. They were just recording.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Okay. We have no proof of that. So, because you weren't here. We were here. So we
Yeah, you weren't here, so you must have been there.
Oh, for God's
Evidence.
same background in Kentucky, same background in Las Vegas. Who knows where you were? So what does your wife say? Where does she say you were?
Oh,
So all right. Okay. Well, let's do what we're supposed to do during this show.
Yes.
And that is answer marriage questions, everybody. Who's ready for the first question?
I'm ready.
What is the best way to make time for sex? Boy, you get this one a lot. What is the best way to make time for sex when you have small children? People keep asking this.
That's a good one. I know.
And especially during COVID, because the kids are always there. You can't get rid of them.
Right.
How do you make time for sex? And when do you make time for sex? And I don't think small children is the problem. It's teenagers and that group.
That's not
because
what
that
the person asked. He asked small children. He said small children. So, and I think the answer is, of course, Benadryl. Lots of Benadryl.
Oh,
that always seemed to work.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. What?
I think that's
was that bad advice?
No, it has to be the liquid kind, because the pills, you can't get enough of it in them. You got to have at least 2 of those shots, and then they're out, baby. Or
you have to, in all honesty, if you want to make time for, you're right, Brad, that with COVID being the way it is and that everybody being at home, you just got to kind of wait for them to tuck her out. And then,
they do sleep.
Quiet. They will fall asleep. And the problem is, so will you right about that time.
That's right. The problem is you got to be ready for 2 to 4 in the morning or something like that, or 1 to 3, and that's now if they're really small and they can't get out of their crib, then if you can handle them crying while you're doing it, I guess you're okay. Yeah. But
I think that's
some people prefer that.
Also now.
So they're used to the crying, so the baby's just even more crying. But
you also have to probably speed up your activity. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if this is going to sound bad, but
a 3-hour long.
None of those. You're not going to be putting on that Marvin Gaye collection and opening up a bottle of wine.
No.
All right, it's just going to be like,
you're not going to time it. Pink Floyd's The Wall. You're not going to. Sting is not doing any tantric sex at this time.
No, right.
All night long, until they're in preschool.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know what? I don't want to do anything all night long anyway. People always say, "Oh yeah, we had sex all night." I don't want that. I don't. You know what? If an hour is enough, no matter what, or less.
I think you're like, what about all the, cuddling and hanging and snacks and the whole.
The kids can be around for that.
I guess. Well, then really, it's only 5 minutes. They don't have to be.
There you go.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
There's nothing. It's healthy to see that your children. It's healthy to see that you have a strong relationship, loving relationship. It's just there's got to be a point where you're gonna be like, okay, they can't see this, and that's kind of how you got to time it. That's
okay. I'm gonna ask a question right now. Hold on. Steve Washington. Did you ever meet Steve Washington from Carnival? He was one of the great Carnival entertainer host people. Steve and his wife, they have small kids. Steve, you can tell me in the chat, because you just told me you're listening. Do you have a way that you and your wife, because they live in a flat in England, do you have a way that you get the whoopee time in? And how do you do that? So now you can please, if you're still watching, put that in.
It's a real world answer.
It's a real world answer.
Finally.
So, Donna, do you tell people, do you ever get this question?
Yeah. And a lot of times it's like, the guys will be like, oh, we don't have sex anymore since we had kids. We don't have sex. And yeah, a lot of it's because if the mom's been taking care of little kids all day, yes, she is beat. Yes. So there's going to be, I go, if you want it, you got to get her relaxed. And so a little foot massage or something like that.
More Benadryl.
And she'll be open to it. But a lot of
moms enjoy Benadryl too.
Give mom Benadryl. No.
It's scheduling and timing, really, kind of. I would think. I mean, it's been a long time since our kids were little, and it's been a long time since we've had sex. But it's still one of those deals where it's just about making time for it. I don't know.
It is. You have to prioritize it.
Steve says, when the kids are asleep, close the door and crack on. So that's an English term. What?
It's an English term. Yeah, right. Crack on.
That's a UK term. Crack on. Yeah, that's very common. Well, and I say the same thing. I say when you get, and a good time too is when other times napping. If you have younger kids, and they do nap for an hour in the afternoon, you're both basically home a lot of the time and stuff like that. I think again, younger kids a lot easier than the fact that my college age daughter is home all the time right now.
Yeah.
because
You can just tell her, don't come in.
well, it's not come in. It's not making noise. My wife feels uncomfortable if there would be noise and stuff like that because I'm a
Probably in a
screamer.
room with earplugs.
And
I have a daughter that's college age too that lives with us, and she she's mortified every time we even get close to each other. If I kiss my wife in front of her, she'll just be like, "Oh God, that's so gross." We're grown-ups here. You're a grown-up. You have a boyfriend, but you guys are just And I'm like, okay.
well, now Steve mentioned the other one.
Yeah.
Steve mentions the other one, which is send the kids to Granny's house. But at this time in history, a lot of people can't send the kids to Granny's house because it may not necessarily be that safe.
That's true. But
Unless
Steve Denman over here in the chat area said earplugs for kids, kinda headphones.
I don't see that at all.
Headphones.
My brother said earplugs?
Headphones and a Disney movie, and they're busy.
Really? Now?
Headphones. I don't see that at all. Who said? My brother said that.
Steve Denman.
Earplugs for kids.
That's
they're
pretty
not
funny.
going to wear earplugs.
Good on you,
From
Steve.
a man that has no kids, let me tell you.
But headphones and a Disney movie, and you're good to go at least for an hour and a half or so.
That's true.
Now,
yeah.
all this is predicated on the size of your living space too.
True.
If you're like Joe and you've got 36 rooms, then you can do that. But if you're like me, we got a small. We're not rich people like Joe, and we don't have a lot of room.
We don't have. It's the same problem for us. It's the same problem. We don't have more than we live in a shack. This is actually my wall in my bedroom, and it doesn't even.
We live in an alley.
Yeah, I live in an alley. All right, we live
behind
in
a
a gutter.
dumpster.
In a gutter.
That's his wall in his bedroom, and his wife is really sick of his act. Let me tell you, because
Don't be embarrassed.
He lives in a
millionaire, Joe.
Okay.
It's all right. You don't have to feel guilty about being successful.
I'm not, and I don't.
I know
I don't know why you guys are ganging up on me just because I missed 1 week.
You missed 1 week to go to DC, and we're ganging up on you. Okay. Okay, here's the next question. I hear this all the time. Should you be nice to the in-law? Not in-laws, just one, I guess.
Obviously, there's no problem.
If they only have one, they should be able to be nice to it.
Yeah, they should be able to be nice. Well, you should be nice to everybody. You don't have to care. Just be pleasant. You know what I mean?
Look, everybody's got problems with in-laws. You don't pick your in-laws, okay? They kind of show up, and you get what you get with them. You find common ground, and you meet. Unless something really bad happens, you should always try and get along, especially with your in-laws. My goodness, your spouse will be pissed at you if you're not. I'm sorry, did I swear? I picked that up.
Man.
I think you said pissed.
You have taken us to a new low. Yeah. I think here's the thing about in-laws is yes, get along with them, but they can't run roughshod over you, and they can't make decisions for you, and they can't do things. So you can always be pleasant, but you can also lay down the law and the rules, and you always support your spouse. Now, you said something that's not true. You don't always pick your in-laws. I mean, you said you don't get to pick your in-laws. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You don't marry somebody.
You're
You can't take the in-laws so much that it's going to be a problem.
But it's a package deal, so they're part of the bundle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like you get what you get. So,
Donna, what do you get?
I two tools. You only need two tools: manners and boundaries. Manners and boundaries.
That's very good.
And it goes
Very
fine.
good.
You'll be just fine.
That's really simple and really useful. Manners and boundaries. See, why isn't all of life just that simple?
Simple.
Yeah,
A lot of it is that
It is.
simple. Manners and boundaries, I think.
yeah,
Right?
you're right. A lot of it is
Yeah,
manners
so-
and boundaries. Yeah.
I know. How can you win with your kids when you say no, but mom says yes?
Oh, let's
And I
let
guess
Donna handle this one.
Donna, go ahead.
Go,
You don't
Donna.
win that. Mom wins that.
Mom wins.
Just mom wins. So do what mom says. Like if mom said yes, then just say yes. If she said no, then just say no. So that's what I think.
I disagree with that advice.
I think you should
There you go.
definitely have common ground, and you should stick to the common ground that you've reached. And if one of you breaches it, then that's a subject that needs to be talked about.
You shouldn't ever undermine each other to the kids. You should never like have different answers. You should actually have the same answer.
But what if you feel strongly one way and your spouse feels strongly the other way, and they tell the kids something that they know you don't feel strongly about?
That's not a good marriage.
Well,
You have to
have a common ground on certain issues, right? Or
I want to get specific about just
at least
wait a minute. I want to talk because look, this intones to me that he has already said no, and they went to mom, and she just went, "Yeah, go ahead and do it," despite what he said.
Right.
You should always have common ground. You should always make decisions together. But I always say, if someone says no, you better have a great reason to say yes and talk about it first before you just patently say, "I make the rule in this house."
Yeah.
Right. Except
if my kid came to me and they said, "I want to do this," dad said no. If I wanted to say yes, I'm not going to just go, "Well, I say yes, go do it." I'm going to go talk to dad and go, "Okay, we need to discuss this because like I say yes and you say it's no."
That's if the kid actually tells you that dad said no first. But if the kid goes to dad, dad says no, then the kid goes to mom, and mom doesn't know that dad said no, and mom says yes, therein lies the problem and our question.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Kids
Why
are
would you
devious
not
little
always say, "Wait, yeah, what a little son of a buck, this little prick. Oh, I hate this kid." So
later,
whoever this kid is needs to be kicked out.
Yeah.
I would say this because I always say, "What'd your mom say? You know what I mean?" Wait a minute. If depending on the decision, what'd your mom say? Well, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Besides, now I say no. I'll say, "I say no." Check with your mom, see what she says. We'll get together. You have to have these extenuating circumstances discussions.
That would be called communication. That would be lovely.
Okay,
but
let's talk about what happened when this kid did. Obviously, here's what happened in this family. Kid asked for something. Dad said no. Kid went to mom. Mom said yes. Where do you go from there?
The kid went and did it and said, "Mom said I could."
Right. But then what? Then where does that leave everybody? Does that leave dad just going, "Oh, okay, everything's cool"?
No, mom and dad would have to talk to each other, and they're like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't do that."
Yeah. Where is he? Oh, he's out with, he's out at midnight with three of his friends smoking pot. And I said, "Wait, I said he couldn't do that." And I thought it was okay, and you're in trouble. If that's it. You need other people. Okay. So don't do any of those things.
No,
Listen to us. Okay. What now this is the same question basically. What do you do when mom, I think, punishes daddy's girl, and when daddy gets home, she puts on the sad face? It said that it says popped her. So I don't, maybe if that's hit her, that's not right. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's because I thought this said punched her, but it says punishes her. So little daddy's girl and mama, it used to be somebody would say, "Wait till your father gets home." Now it's
the fact that this guy actually phrased it, "little daddy's girl." Oh, she's got him wrapped around her finger.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that's like. Yeah. That happened.
You know what he's not mentioning in this?
What?
The daddy's girl is actually the nanny. So that's
hey now. Okay. Yeah.
So you guys are dads of girls.
Yeah.
Has that happened? Where she comes to you and like, "Mom's so mean. She did."
Well, yeah, and then of course you calm her down and you give her a big hug and you tell her how much you love her and you say, "Well, but you have to listen to your mom. That's what mom said, and you have to listen to her." So again, this is the same old story. Kid trying to play the parent, and they're going to do that no matter what, even at a very, very young age. They get that. They're smart.
It's actually a sign of intelligence.
Yeah.
So I undermine my wife at every turn. She comes in, "Mom did this." I said, "Man, she did that to me too. Jeez, what the hell?" I know. What's wrong? We got to team up. Team up.
Against mom.
Yeah.
Against mom.
You don't.
Well, but then here's what's funny. When they get to be about teenagers, mom's the one coming to you. "Oh my God, she's so mean. She's so mean to me." Why
Did you guys have that? Is that
and then you can just say, and then you say, "You reap what you sow."
Yeah. Yes. Wise. No. And then I get to be on both sides. I get to go talk to both of them and be like, oh, yeah, I know, honey. And then I go to the daughter and go, yeah, she really did. And then I win on both sides until they find out about it. Then they get to gang up on me.
Yeah.
Always good.
And
Always
that's
good.
always way better. Way better.
So, by the way, Donna, distill the actual advice from the question about the daddy's girl thing.
That would be called codependent parenting, and consequences are healthy. So if somebody did something wrong and had consequences, that person has to support it. Not if she's upset, never mind the consequences. That's being codependent. So if that dad can't support consequences, he needs to see a therapist.
Yes. But he can also be kind when he tells her that she loses. Oh, honey,
Yes.
don't do it again.
Like
Don't.
those are called consequences.
Yeah. But she doesn't have to pop her too. Well, I'm going to smack you again. Like the old days. You're at school and the principal hits you. Then you come home and your dad hits you. And then grandma smacks you.
No smacking.
The old days. We
Don't
call
do
those.
smacking. No.
Wait till your dad gets home. Yeah.
Wait till your dad gets home. Dad gets home. He's like, I don't care. My dad was like, I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah, my mom never was a threatener. She never threatened that. I don't think we ever did that either. I think we cared about each other enough that they knew that, so they probably wouldn't play that game too much. Our kids.
I had
set up for the dad. If you go like, wait till your dad comes home, what are you making him into a big scary thing? If you can't discipline him yourself, you'll have problems.
Yeah.
Well, my mom never did that, and I think since my brother's on here, he can attest that we were horrible. We had 3 boys, and we were friggin' nightmares. And my mom would be like, I'm just trying to get something done with the green chairs. You'll sit in those green chairs and tell them blah, blah. And I think we only got spanked a couple times. Dad did bring out the belt once and kind of laid it across you. He didn't know how to spank. I think my mom one time spanked us, and it was more funny than anything else. Yeah. But man, we were the worst, the 3 of us. One time we're going to see wrestling. I don't know if anybody loved wrestling growing up.
I loved wrestling.
Bobby Heenan was coming back to wrestling to fight Dick the Bruiser. Oh my God. We're driving over to get Dick the Bruiser. This thing. We're wrestling in the car. We've got the big station wagon. My mom's freaking out up front trying to get us an hour, and we're 3 of us are going nuts. And then we found, and there's lines everywhere. Everybody in the country wants to see Bobby
before seatbelt.
and no seatbelt. Oh God, no.
And then everybody's smoking. Yeah, come on.
We're not going. If you don't stop it, we're not going to this thing. And we're up and down. And then we found out they were sold out, and she still hasn't forgiven us
for nothing. You tortured her for nothing.
Tortured the hell out of her. Okay.
Hold on. Let me tell you. So I am Turkish and Italian. Okay. And I don't spank. I'm not a yeller. But if you get to that line, I can go nutty. Okay. So I was the scary one. Like my kids to this day are huge, but they've never disrespected me, never like raised a hand to me or anything. And if I use that tone, they know I may go crazy and they will like tone it right down. They're like 30 something years old now.
Yeah.
Raised a hand to you. That sounds scary.
Yeah. My kids never disrespected me because I would openly weep. So that's a good.
Yeah, you're a crier. I know that. You're
the guilt.
That's my strategy right there. Yeah, that's.
And after that wrestling thing, I was little, but by the time I was 20, I was smacking my mom around like crazy. I don't know. Donna talking about raised her hand. Yeah, she got the atomic elbow. We were all about the claw by then. The claw. If your family has kids where you're raising a hand to your mother at any point in time,
we got to talk. Yeah,
need to go to jail is where you need to go. Never raise a hand. That's a brag. My kids never raised a hand to me as their mother. Oh well, gee. Okay. Wow. Okay. What? Okay. Here's a big one. Big one.
Oh boy.
Big one. What happens when your spouse won't stop talking to his or her ex?
Ooh,
that's
you know what? I was just talking to my former fiance, and we talked about this, and she said that it's stupid that you should
stop calling.
What?
She said, "Stop calling me."
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a line in the sand, isn't it? I mean, really, Donna,
She said I blocked you. She said I blocked you.
that's absolutely a line in the sand. In all seriousness, if
Yeah, unless
so,
you're,
hey, you're
together
done with
and
her,
you
you're
have
with
to
me.
talk.
It's me now. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unless you're, do it in a threesome, then it's a different
Yeah.
story.
No,
Yeah,
that's not who you're having a threesome with. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So
Not,
And if
that's
you are,
not
doing
who-
angry sex.
but
Angry
sex. Yeah.
Angry sex. Pirate angry sex.
That's
Women are so territorial that is never ever flying.
no.
Not
It's
with any halfway normal woman.
super simple on that one. It's like, hey, it's them or me. That's it. And that's pretty easy. I mean, don't you
So
think?
the question said,
Yeah.
how do you get him to stop? You say bye. That's what you say. How do you
Yeah.
get him to stop talking to his ex? You say bye. I'm
Should you
out.
warn? Should you warn? Go, hey, you got one chance to stop. If I ever catch you again, we're done.
Yeah, I'm thinking if he doesn't know to stop, that's a big red flag. Like,
Well, there's a lot of people who don't come out and say things. So maybe it's just
What
like,
if-
oh, I don't know what to do. He just keeps talking to
Wait a
Jessica.
minute.
oh, I like
What if
that.
you're just
That's
friends
good.
on Facebook? What if you're married to other people? You're both married to other people 15 years later, and you're just friends on Facebook. They have kids,
But
you
that's
have kids.
not and you're like, hey, good, like, blah. That's not a big old conversation happening.
Okay, that's fine. So you're
What if
right.
you spend
So
all your time on Facebook with that other person? What if you
Yeah,
just
I love different. That
yeah,
would be
what if you're texting with that other person? What if I mean
are you having a relationship with that other person?
yeah,
of
that's
some-
the no-no. Saying
Yeah,
hi, fine. Relationship, no.
what actually defines a relationship though? I mean, seriously, obviously not. I'm not talking about a
Emotional
physical relationship because
intimacy.
that would be over the line. I'm talking about just a regular, what's a relationship with someone?
So emotional connection, it defines like a relationship versus the Starbucks guy. Okay. If you're sharing your feelings and listening to their feelings, what's stressful, that's a relationship. But if
Right.
it's bye-bye, that's an acquaintance.
God. What if you're dating the Starbucks guy?
Yeah, and married
You better
at
have
the same
coffee.
time.
You better be
Yeah.
getting lots of coffee. I'm going to tell you that.
Free Starbucks could be worth 20, 30 grand a year. So I would be in.
Yeah.
Honey, yes. Stick
That's-
with the Starbucks guy.
That's,
Bring home the chai latte and the egg bites. Yeah.
that's
You'll okay that one.
that's the easiest one we've had all day, which is just, hey,
Yeah.
you
It's
got
a
to
no.
nip that
Well,
one.
here's an example. Back before I knew my wife, I dated a girl that booked comedy. She booked for David Tribble. Did you ever work for David Tribble back in the day, Joe Marlotti?
Nope.
And
That's the trouble.
we were like, except for one person, I never broke up with anybody that we weren't friends when it was done. That it was like, great, we're fine.
Yeah.
So, and then we didn't see each other. And then she was, matter of fact, we even talked. She goes, oh my gosh, we saw each other. She goes, she told me, my wife, she said, that woman is for you. She's for you. Because we knew she and I weren't good for each other. And then years later, about 3 years later, I find she's on Facebook and she's married in LA. She's got a 13 and a 14-year-old. And we were like, hey, what's going on? And we just back and forth every couple of months, or it's like, oh, you're doing this, or oh, you're doing that, oh, your kid did that. But that's not an emotional relationship, but we are giving back and forth information, just like I would with the girl I went to high school with that we never dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just superficial stuff.
Yeah.
Except this one I have slept with. I mean, that's the difference. I don't think she
Anyway.
knows.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay,
if I want to be with someone who I don't know if I want to be around someone that you were naked with, like that my guy was naked and fooling around with. I don't know.
Not be
if I'm-
around them.
Yeah, but
Not
I
be
don't.
around.
I don't know if I'm going to be like, hey, let's hang even in a social setting.
No.
And this
We're
girl
not doing that.
has been nude with my husband.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. That's it. No, that's gross. No, that's gross. So speaking of gross, this is Donna's sexual relationship checklist. And explain this.
So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fill it out independently of each other. And then you guys get together and talk about your answers. So you're supposed to yes, no, or maybe for each of these
Not
things.
Or not applicable, which probably
Which
Takes
every
place.
woman puts for in the
Like
butt.
not applicable. It's yes, no, or maybe.
No.
Right?
This
And
is-
these are pretty simple. And I just went over it with my husband. And it was
No,
kind
I
of
I
interesting.
really think every woman for backside business is like not applicable. This isn't even. This doesn't exist. So
No,
it doesn't-
that's not true.
That's
That
not
is
true.
not true.
That's not true. That's
There
not
are
true.
I
some
think
that
Donna-
are real big fans, guys.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
It's a joke.
I will say just kidding then. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then let's quickly go through a couple of these. Joe, yes, no, or maybe. A partner touching me affectionately without asking first.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
how
'cause
about, you know what? Because a lot of these are going to be really easy. How about, can you guys tell me which one in column A, this first column, is a no?
Okay.
Wait a minute. First,
That's a good way. Let me go through this.
before we do that, the partner touched me affectionately without asking. I just was talking about Joe and I when we worked the ship together.
Yeah,
so
when
that
we
was
were-
okay.
yeah. So that was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
only
that
your cabin. That was
You're
only
okay with
your
all
cabin.
the time. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mostly my cabin because Joe has a weird thing about his cabin. So
Yeah.
okay, so what was the question?
Of column 1, the first column,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which one for you guys is there, or more than one, a no?
Okay, here we go. Okay, the semen one's a little creepy because I don't know why would. Then again, that's another. That's
Well,
another,
wait a minute.
That's
It's got to
about-
go somewhere.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point.
like it's your own stuff.
do we have to fill in
Yeah.
the blank of what part of our
I
body
don't
we don't
I
mind
don't
it
want
being
it
on?
on me. So that's perfectly valid.
Get it off me.
The,
Okay, so look at this one. Look at grooming or get it off, man. Lay a towel down her whole body. Just cover the whole body in a towel. So grooming or toileting in front of a partner. Those are two huge different. Grooming and toileting are two hugely different things.
Okay.
You can,
So what
you
if
can
it was-
brush
Okay,
your
I've only
damn
got-
hair in front
I've
of
only
me.
got two things on this thing that I find on column A that bug me.
What
Number
are-
one, hickeys. Not a big fan of hickeys.
Yeah, no hickeys. I'm
No
off
hickeys.
that one.
Interesting.
And number two, being unable to communicate clearly during sex. So
Where's
I'm
that?
I'm guessing that has to do with like maybe gagging or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
So being
what does
able,
that mean? Being unable to communicate clearly during sex.
is this something you're okay with or not okay with?
Absolutely not okay with that. I need to be able to communicate.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm
I
not.
need to be able to convey my safe word.
You know what, though?
You
Yeah,
get your
then
body
Joe-
language isn't working.
Joe, if she still has enough wind to communicate after sex, you're not doing it good enough. Yeah. Wow. Pinga. Okay. I would like to aim everybody's attention to this one. Initiator having sex while or after I have been using alcohol or other recreational drugs. For
It's the
my
only time I
wife,
have
that's
sex.
a given. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a given.
That has
That's
never
what?
been
That's the only
30
way
some
it's
years
happening.
together. She has to be on drugs or alcohol, or it's
Yeah.
never happened before.
Yeah, that's the only way I can actually get her in the mood. So
What the hell is general massage? I don't.
Yeah.
What is general massage? So
it's
I don't.
slightly better than a corporal massage, I guess.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
So so I asked
Admiral.
my husband. Let me say, I asked my husband. It goes, I go, how are you about being naked with the lights off? He said, fine. How are you about being naked with the lights on? He said, fine. And then he's like, where's the one about the strobe lights?
Where's the
That's a
disco
good
ball?
one.
That's what I want to know.
Good one.
The spinning ball. Where's the ball?
They don't have that one in there. So you okay
sharing-
with strobe lights?
sharing my sexual history with a partner, if I wasn't married for 30 plus years, and I mean, if you apply some of these to like people who are sexually active, obviously like the STI testing is something that I think is very important if you're
No
definitely
people.
going to be sexually promiscuous and whatnot with other people. But sharing my sexual history with a partner, that could be a big red flag for a lot of people, don't you think?
If that's a yes or no, like if you should still share it. You can't like hide it. Like it should still
Yeah,
be
you can.
shared. You should.
You can.
do that.
I'm not going to tell you about everything that I've done with everybody, and
I guess it depends in detail, huh? How much detail?
I hide mine because I don't have one,
yeah,
and it's
right.
really embarrassing to say, "Well, no, I didn't really do anything." It's just I'm
kinda
making
that
stuff up. Yeah, well, I remember Joanne. Oh well. So allow
What
me,
about
Jack.
column 2? What about
What I
column
have on
2?
there is hickeys. That's
Okay.
just the one bad one.
Column 2.
And first of
Half
all,
of my
did you know what fruitage is?
What?
Look up at the top, fruitage and tribadism.
What?
I like dry humping has always been a favorite of mine. You know, the
Everybody likes dry humping. Are you kidding me? What was it? What is it?
Okay.
Dan Chopin used to say. He goes, "Man, I used to go ahead and I'd slap on one of those Nicorette patches, have some non-alcoholic beer, and dry hump all night long."
But let's admit it, when I was, 14, 15 and you had a girlfriend, and that was kind of fun. I enjoyed
I think that was the only acceptable thing that you're supposed to do.
Yeah. That's all I ever did.
I'm reading this, by the way. It's very, by the way,
Any notes?
yeah. Not yet. Hold on.
What's tribadism? I know it says cigarette rubbing naked gender together partner, but I mean
It's dry humping without clothes.
Yes. Kind of like
putting my mouth on things. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, this one
Okay,
on the body parts.
First of all, anal intercourse that's too vague. you have to specify whether you're giving or receiving. I think.
Don't say the words out loud, Joe. Don't say the words out loud. Okay, anyway.
It says so right there.
It just says yes, no, or maybe. You don't have to be details. Just yes, no, or maybe.
All right. Okay.
Maybe no. I'm saying maybe no on that one. My brother just admitted he was a virgin till he was a freshman in collage.
What about using food items?
Sure, fine. I love
I'm
whipped cream.
fine with it, but it's just messy. I don't need the mess.
Yeah, it is messy. It's kind of
we tried that. It's like, who cares? I'm not hungry. It's
I'd probably be a
dumb.
maybe on that one. I mean, it's not like at the top of my favorite things to do, but I'm definitely not averse to it. So
what about movement?
it also depends on the food. For instance, like a hot dog right off the grill, not usable.
Yeah, no.
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, sauerkraut.
Oh yeah, where is that applicable?
Really, just dump it on a little
Oh,
vinegar.
here's the one. I will disclose. My husband said no. Was the cross-dressing during sex?
Where's that?
Yeah, I've never dressed
Your
as a
food
woman.
items. Cross-dressing.
Well,
during sex.
quite frankly,
If your wife came to you and go, "Can you wear this cute my like bikini or my little nightie? Can you wear this while we fool around?" Would you be like, "Sure"? Or
yeah, if that's what it takes to have sex. Yeah.
whatever.
I can't say I would say no. I would not. It's really not my thing in any way.
It would have to be something nice. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it'd have to be
Fluffy.
I'm not going to wear grandma underwear. Okay. It's
it would have to be like Frankenfurter from
right.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah,
is what would have to be.
Oh, like a little
I've never
corset thing.
Joe, I've never dressed up as a woman for anything.
I have not. I've never done. I don't think I've ever even worn heels.
Yeah, me neither.
So
Me neither. Isn't that weird? Well, heels have never been big enough. But I tell you this,
I don't look good as a man. I would just horrify.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't look like a man, and I'm afraid I'd look too good.
I take that back. I have dressed as a woman. I've done a couple of videos where where corporate videos where I was like a customer service as a joke. I wore a wig and tried to be like a lady in the office who was bossing people around. I was actually doing like
that would be fun.
I think I have that somewhere. That'd be fantastic. And I also dressed up
next week
dancer on stage in Las Vegas, but that's a different story.
Next week, have that video.
I
want to say this. This is important, and that is, I've lost the concept. I don't think there should be a concept of women's and men's clothes anyway. I think people should wear whatever they want, and whatever you feel good in, you should wear.
Yeah.
I don't know why we gender push clothes anyway.
Yeah. My whole family is so gender I shouldn't say confused, but totally fluid right now that it doesn't make
good word.
Yeah. I would say your family's very fluid.
This house. Yeah. So anyway, I do have a problem. I do have a problem with on the side on list B.
Right.
Getting sexual images of a partner in my email or on my phone.
Yep.
That's
nope.
a big one.
Not going to happen.
Really? I thought every guy wanted that.
No. I am no, because that's not going to wind up just in your email or on your phone.
Yeah.
That's going to wind up.
We have no pictures like that of any kind, and we will not.
That's interesting. My husband actually said no too.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that's why.
And you keep sending him stuff.
I know, he said no.
I don't want to share pictures of my wife with other people because that's where it's going to wind up. That's the issue.
And I've seen other comics who do that.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes.
Oh.
Don't go. Don't go there. I've been there.
I mean, that's the two names. No, I'm just kidding. So, of course, Donna keeps sending her husband pictures of her scissoring. So it's really weird.
Ew.
So,
really?
You don't know how ill that is. Ew.
What?
Ew.
Oh, okay.
You don't like scrapbooking?
I don't know what. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know what it was. I thought you were cutting, just naked, cutting things out of
things out of paper.
That's
I don't know what.
That's what I thought it
that is. Oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That didn't sound that bad.
So that's the only one that that's probably, if you want to know the truth, of all of them, that's the worst, in my opinion.
Pretty dang graphic.
That is the worst one.
No, I'm talking about the sexual images in email or phone.
No,
So
sending pictures.
That's like the most no.
that's the most
Yeah, on that side, that is the most, basically the most. Now,
because that to me is just that's the gateway to opening up all of your sexual activity, everything to everybody else. Once people start seeing it, because people do, they're going to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you know what? I will tell you this: if we go down a couple, reading erotica much better than watching pornography. First of all, you got to pay it. You got to look at the pornography. Where's the screen? Who knows where it is? I'm looking here. I'm looking there. But I can hold a book and read while we're doing stuff. So just
you're talking, yeah, okay.
Reading while you're fooling around.
Well,
reading while you're fooling around is great.
I like to read to her to get her in the mood. You know,
like a story, a bedtime story.
Yeah, like a bedtime story.
She gets working, she gets working while I'm reading.
Yes. Cookies, milk, erotica. That's how it is at our house.
That's right. I believe it. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this because it's just, getting exciting is the problem. So.
Tone it down. Tone it down.
Hey, I want to talk to you really quick about when we're talking about that serious about emailing or iPhone or putting stuff on your phone. I want to tell you a little story. I don't know if you saw this on Facebook, but a friend of mine was doing comedy this past weekend, and he was working with a guy whose name was Eric James. And my friend went up on stage, kidding around, and goes, "Give it up for Eric James and the Shondells," right? Making a joke about Tommy James and the Shondells. He just did it off the top. He got home that night, went on Facebook, and the suggestions of him for who to follow was Tommy James and the Shondells. He wasn't taping his act.
Oh, they heard it.
Now that's creepy.
Interesting.
It's creepy.
I send one picture of me naked to my wife. Suddenly I'm getting all this Viagra, stuff, so or enhancement,
male enhancement tool.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if you have that problem, you should just tell her, well, turn the phone upside down.
Way better.
You're supposed to zoom in. You're supposed to pinch up. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hannibal Greatneck III walked into his new 6th grade class, and there was a cage. It sat among the desks like a benign tumor everyone had learned to try and ignore. There was a mystery here, and Handy was just the 11-year-old detective for the job. Don't Feed the Bully, the best-selling tween novel by Brad Tassell. Get it on Kindle or paperback at Amazon.com. People have slowed down buying my book. I don't like that.
Why?
Because I want people to buy my book. That's why.
Why have they slowed down, do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, it just ebbs and flows. And it just, and this is the school year starting too now, and people need to read it for class. Well, and I do 2 programs on OutSchool for this book.
Kids haven't been in school. Bullying hasn't been as big a problem. It's going to come back.
At home, bullying at home. Yes, but the novel itself is such a great novel. You don't need to talk about bullying. The story is so brilliant. The whole concept of the story, the whole thing is it's a hard-boiled detective novel that is so much fun to read that really the bullying is just something you get out of it if you want to learn. So. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking way too long. 45 minutes is too long, and I think it's fun day. But it has been it has been a joy. It has
I'm
been
going
a
to
joy.
call this the sexual episode. This episode was dedicated to the topic of sex.
Yes. Yes.
Dedicated
Did
to
you
the
hear that,
topic
honey?
of sex. You hear that, honey? Yes, yes, and we're not to take it, and that Donna takes nude pictures of herself and sends them to her
It's
husband. So
interesting how Brad keeps saying we do stuff that we don't do.
I know.
Oh,
I
I
got
don't
pictures of Donna when I was in
Projecting.
Washington. Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Yeah.
I think that's Freudian.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
a reason he keeps saying this stuff.
she didn't hear what you said, Joe.
I said I got pictures of you while I was in Washington. Yeah.
Oh,
that's-
that's
Brad.
just
Yeah, Brad.
That's-
Okay.
He's got
Thank you,
stuff.
Joe Marlotti. Great job today. Donna Wilburn, always amazing. Go to donnawilburn.com and learn stuff and save your marriage, and go to Joe Marlotti somewhere and you'll do something.
Next week, I'll have the best website you've ever seen, and you can find out what I do for a living once I
Okay.
find out what that is.
You can go to bradtassel.com. I have no idea why.
Okay.